What if walking away is the most powerful thing you could ever do in a relationship? The moment you step back, her mind races. Curiosity, regret, and a deep desire for your presence all collide. But here's the truth. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about taking control. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this one move flips the script entirely and leaves her thinking about you more than ever before. Section 1. The initial shock. Walking away isn't just an action, it's a statement. It's the moment you communicate, without saying a word, that you're not afraid to remove yourself from the situation. At first, she might not show her reaction outwardly. She may act indifferent, as though it doesn't matter to her. But inside, it's a completely different story. The stability and predictability she's grown used to are suddenly gone, and this creates a deep sense of unease. Here's why this is so powerful. Women are emotionally attuned to the patterns in their relationships. Your presence, the way you texted, called, and interacted, became part of her emotional routine. When you walk away, you disrupt that routine. This triggers a fight-or-flight response in her brain. She begins to wonder, why did he leave? Did I do something wrong? What does this mean for us? The shock she feels isn't just emotional, it's biological. Studies in psychology show that sudden emotional disconnection activates the same parts of the brain as physical pain. Think about that for a second. Your absence is literally felt like a wound. Even if she told herself she wouldn't care, her subconscious mind starts pulling her attention back to you. This shock creates a domino effect. She begins to overanalyze your last interactions, searching for clues about what went wrong. Every word, every gesture, every moment between you becomes magnified in her memory. The more she analyzes, the more she realizes just how significant your presence was in her life. This realization is the first step toward her missing you deeply. Section 2. The pull of curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most powerful psychological forces, and when you walk away, you tap directly into it. Women are naturally curious, especially when it comes to relationships. When you were around, she had clarity about where she stood with you, but now that you're gone, she's left in the dark. That uncertainty becomes a mental itch she can't ignore. Think about how people react to unanswered questions. Imagine watching a movie that ends on a cliffhanger. You can't stop thinking about what might happen next because your brain craves resolution. The same thing happens when you walk away. By removing yourself, you create a cliffhanger in her mind. She starts asking herself, why did he leave? What's he thinking? Is he moving on? And here's the key. These unanswered questions create emotional tension, which keeps her thoughts focused on you. But curiosity doesn't just make her think about you, it makes her feel something about you. That tension, that need to resolve the mystery, creates emotional investment. The more she wonders about you, the more she's pulled back into the memory of your connection. Every unanswered question strengthens her emotional tie to you, even if she doesn't fully realize it. Here's the best part. This curiosity works in your favor, whether or not she acts on it. If she reaches out, it's because she can't resist the pull of her unanswered questions. If she doesn't, she's still thinking about you, replaying past moments and wondering what you're doing now. Either way, you remain in her mind, and that's exactly where you want to be. Section 3. Emotional withdrawal and reinvestment. When you walk away, she experiences a form of emotional withdrawal. This isn't just about missing your presence. It's about losing the emotional support and attention you provided. Women, by nature, are emotionally connected beings. Your presence in her life wasn't just about physical attraction. It was about the way you made her feel. When that's suddenly gone, it creates a void. And that void can feel almost unbearable. But here's where the dynamic shifts. As she processes this withdrawal, her mind begins to fill the void with memories of you. This is where emotional reinvestment comes into play. Psychologically, she starts to idealize the connection you shared. The little things she used to take for granted, the way you listened, the way you made her laugh, the way you carried yourself, become magnified in her memory. This phenomenon is known as selective memory bias, where the brain focuses on the positive aspects of a person or situation while downplaying the negatives. She begins to view you through a nostalgic lens, replaying the best moments of your time together. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's her mind trying to reconcile the loss of emotional connection by amplifying your value. The longer you stay away, the stronger this emotional reinvestment becomes. What starts as a sense of loss turns into a deep longing. She begins to question why she let you go or why she didn't appreciate you more when you were around. And this longing doesn't just stay in her mind, it manifests in her actions. She might start checking your social media, asking mutual friends about you, or even rehearsing what she would say if she reached out. This process of reinvestment is what makes walking away so powerful. By stepping back, you give her the space to rediscover your value on her own terms. And when she does, the pull to reconnect becomes almost irresistible. Section 4. The fear of losing you for good. Fear is one of the most powerful motivators in human psychology. And when you walk away, you trigger one of her deepest fears. The fear of losing you forever. This fear doesn't hit immediately. It creeps in as the reality of your absence starts to settle. At first, she might think, he'll be back. But as time passes and you remain silent, that confidence begins to waver. Women are wired to seek emotional security in relationships. Your presence provided her with a sense of stability, even if she didn't fully acknowledge it at the time. When that stability is removed, it forces her to confront the possibility that she might have lost something truly valuable. This isn't just about missing your company. It's about the deeper implications of what losing you means for her life and her emotions. The fear grows stronger as she imagines scenarios of you moving on. Thoughts like, what if he's found someone else? What if he's happier without me? Start to play on repeat in her mind. This fear is heightened if you maintain your composure and don't chase her. Your silence becomes a statement of strength, making her question whether she misjudged you or undervalued your presence. As this fear intensifies, it can drive her to take action. She may reach out to check on you or start testing the waters with subtle messages to gauge your reaction. This fear of losing you isn't just about regret. It's about the realization that you were the anchor she didn't realize she needed until you were gone. Section 5. The power of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as inaction, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. When you choose silence after walking away, you're doing more than just avoiding communication. You're sending a message. That message is, I don't need to chase you. I know my worth. For her, this silence is deafening. She's used to men who can't handle the discomfort of being ignored. Most guys would have flooded her with texts or tried to fix the situation, but your silence sets you apart. It shows emotional strength, patience, and confidence, traits that are deeply attractive to women. As the days go by without hearing from you, her mind starts to fill the silence with questions. Why hasn't he reached out? Does he not care? Is he really moving on? These questions create a mental loop, keeping you at the forefront of her thoughts. This is the beauty of silence. It allows her own mind to do the work for you. But silence doesn't just keep her thinking, it forces her to feel the full weight of your absence. Without your texts, calls, or presence, she's left to sit with the void you left behind. and the longer that void lingers, the more she begins to crave the connection you once shared. Silence isn't about playing games. It's about giving her the space to realize your value on her own. Section 6. How absence amplifies desire. Absence creates scarcity, and scarcity always increases value. When you're readily available, it's easy for her to take you for granted. But when you walk away, you shift the dynamic entirely. Your absence makes her realize just how much she relied on your presence, your attention, and your energy. Here's why absence is so effective. It triggers a psychological phenomenon known as reward anticipation. When something or someone is no longer immediately available, the brain starts to value it more. She begins to crave the emotional connection you once provided, and that craving turns into desire. As time passes, this desire doesn't fade, it grows. She starts replaying the moments you shared, focusing on the feelings you brought into her life. These feelings become amplified in your absence, creating a sense of longing that's hard to ignore. It's not just about missing you, it's about wanting to recapture the emotional high she felt when you were around. But here's the kicker. This desire is strongest when you maintain your distance. If you rush back or break the silence too soon, you interrupt the process and diminish the effect. Absence works because it creates space for her to rediscover her feelings for you on her own. And when that desire reaches its peak, she'll feel compelled to act on it. Section 7. The unpredictability factor. Walking away introduces an element of unpredictability into her life. Before, she might have felt like she had you figured out, that she knew your next move or how you would respond, but now she's no longer sure. This uncertainty is what keeps her mind constantly returning to you. Humans are wired to seek resolution to uncertainty, which is why we hate cliffhangers in movies or unanswered questions in real life. When you walk away, you become the unresolved question in her mind. She wonders, is he really gone? What is he thinking? Does he still care? This uncertainty keeps her engaged, even in your absence. But unpredictability isn't just about keeping her guessing. It's about showing her that you're not afraid to walk away and stay away. It communicates that you have options and that you're not dependent on her for your sense of self-worth. This unpredictability makes you stand out because most men are predictable in their reactions. They beg, plead, or try to win her back. You, on the other hand, are different, and that difference makes you unforgettable. Section 8. The Ego Challenge. When you walk away, it doesn't just affect her emotions, it also challenges her ego. She starts questioning herself. Did I misjudge him? Was I wrong to push him away? Is he better off without me? These questions create a conflict within her, driving her to reevaluate how she sees you. For many women, their ego plays a significant role in how they navigate relationships. Losing someone who valued them can feel like a blow to their pride. Your decision to walk away forces her to confront the possibility that she made a mistake, one she might not want to admit. This ego challenge often compels her to take action. She might start testing the waters with small gestures like liking your posts on social media or sending vague messages to see how you'll respond. These actions aren't random. They're her way of trying to regain control of the situation and her sense of validation. But here's the key. The more confident and composed you remain, the more her ego will push her to chase you. By walking away, you've shifted the power dynamic, and now she's the one trying to earn your attention and approval. Section 9. The Role of Emotional Reflection. Walking away doesn't just make her miss you, it forces her into a state of emotional reflection. When you're no longer in the picture, she has to sit with her thoughts and feelings, and that's when the real introspection begins. This isn't something she can avoid. Without your presence to distract her or keep things moving forward, she's left to replay the past, and evaluate what went wrong. She'll start to reflect on your actions, her actions, and how the relationship dynamic shifted. Questions like, was I too harsh? Did I misread his intentions? Was I the one who caused him to leave? Will occupy her mind. This isn't just about regret, it's about understanding. Women often need time to process their emotions, and your absence gives her the space to do exactly that. During this phase, she's more likely to focus on your strengths, the things she once overlooked or took for granted. Your patience, your kindness, and your confidence now stand out in stark contrast. She begins to realize that losing you wasn't just about losing a partner. It was about losing someone who added real value to her life. This reflection often leads to a shift in her perception. You're no longer just the guy she was with. You become the one who got away, the one she can't stop thinking about. And as this emotional reflection deepens, so does her desire to reach out and reconnect. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you value, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights. And if you want even more exclusive content and perks, consider becoming a member of this channel. See you in the next one.